Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. It's been a while. You know, got the holiday weekends and such, keeping me away from my recording gear. I did do a lot of riding, but that's not neither here nor there. So, what's today's agenda? Well, okay, I mean, listen, the thumbnail tells you that some sort of modification has been done. I still don't know what I'm going to title this video, you know, because it could be like, what's my most expensive mod so far? Which would probably be apropos. I might be using that one, but in case you're wondering, it's back there. So what did I do? I put an RT tour pack, top case, whatever you want to call it, on an F3T. Now, a little later in this video, I will park this in the shade somewhere, and I will go over the installation with you. Another speed camera. This is a very narrow video mod because, quite frankly, it only entitles the F3T. Yeah, this video is really only meant to go out to you guys that have F3Ts and want to get more storage, which is a perfectly understandable thing because that's what happened to me. You might still see it on the website that the top case for the F3T or the F3 series, it always shows up as being offered, but it's never ever available, and that is the case today. Okay, I'm SOL. So I bought prior to that I had bought the backrest, the detachable backrest, and I had a bag, and I would strap the bag to the backrest, and that's how I'd make my long distance journeys. Okay, I let it sit for a while, and then I really just got fed up, especially coming back from South Carolina last time. And so I sat down on the computer. I pulled up the parts chart, which, you know, if you never had to order parts, good for you. But it basically is an exploded view of your vehicle. And from that, you could track down all the tiny little screws and nuts and bolts and everything else. So what I did was, I did two screens. I pulled up a picture of the F3 Limited's tour pack and the picture of the RT's tour pack. Now, this is only from, like, I think 2020 onward, because the RT's had a different top case. I think it was integrated prior to that. And lo and behold, it's the same part numbers. So obviously, if you have the same part numbers, it's the same part. You know, they might use a different code for the picture, but, you know, underneath the picture reference number is the actual part number, and they're the same. That's what I did. I figured, screw it, it'll fit. And here's spoiler alert, it does fit. And so I went to, you can't order it online, you have to actually go to a dealer. But that wasn't a big deal. So I went to my repair guy. I had him order the RT top case. I went online prior to that, and I ordered a bracket, because if you have an F3 Limited and above, there's a bracket that's already mounted under the cowling in the back. And this will all make sense once I go back there and I'll show it to y'all. Yeah, so it's basically 4 screws, 8 screws, a catch plate, and 2 pins, and the bracket itself. And you'll have to go to the parts thing. You have to buy all those parts separately, assemble it, take the cowling off, install the bracket, and then you buy the RT case, and dude, literally it will just clip in, turn it, lock it, and it's done. I think it only comes in black now, whereas previous years they had colored panels for the sides to match the bike. The RT, this case only comes in black, and from what I see, I think they all do now. I don't think you can get the colored panels, but I think they're still removable, so you can still paint them. Me personally, I'm gonna wrap them. It just snapped into place. Now you will, if you have an F3T, you will lose the antenna. Now, years ago, I had switched to a 3-inch from that giant whip antenna because I couldn't get my cover down. You can't put the case in over that antenna. On an F3, the antenna is mounted to the side of the case. On the what the hell is it? The RT. It's basically on the saddlebag. Now, listen, guys. If FM radio is something you rely on, it's 2024. You know, that's all I got to tell you. But you can get the bracket to relocate it, but you'll probably have to rerun the wire and drill the hole. Now, something that I was afraid of was the wiring. Now, BRP, to their discredit, when they sell shit on their website, man, talk about the worst possible descriptions of what you're getting for your money. You know, because no, I have not talked about the cost of this thing yet. But I guess I could do it now. Yeah, it's like $2,500. That is a lot of money. You know, that's the type of money where you might even contemplate just upgrading your bike entirely. But I still got payments left, so that's not exactly an option for me. But no big deal. I did not expect several things to come with this case because, like I said, the descriptions suck. It's already wired. Okay, it's already wired, and when, like I said, later on I'll do a tour after I show you the install. It's got the 2 USB ports. It has a light. It has 2 speakers, and it's all pre-wired. So I'll show you the clip too later. You just plug in the electric, you lock it in, you turn the dial, it's done. That's really it. And it comes off the same way. You'd have to unlock it, unplug it, boink. There were some other costs that came with it because I bought the bag that goes in it, and then I realized that the cover I put over my bike doesn't fit, so I had to order one of those. You know, I ordered the RT cover because this is not that different than an RT, so it should fit with no problems. And the bracket and stuff, I think that was only maybe 80 bucks, maybe. Let's just say, let's round it up to 100. I don't think I spent more than 100 bucks for the bracketing to install that case. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I mean, especially after you spent $2,500. Or it could be the make or break. I did do a little Google search of videos and other stuff like that. The problem is, if you're going to put a shad bag or one of these other things on there, it's ugly. All right, those aftermarket bags are not good looking. Okay, they really bring down the aesthetic of the entire bike. I mean, listen, if you care about that, okay, like I do, okay. If you don't, even better. I think this one is actually bigger, but don't quote me on that. You know, but it's OEM, so it's just gonna fit together. The other one, the worst part is the brackets are like they're cobbled together. They go on the handrails or this or that, and then you got to get an adapter plate, and then you got to attach the adapter plate to another adapter plate for whatever case you're using. But it is cheaper. Don't get me wrong; it's cheaper by far. By far, like I would. You might be able to get away with spending half the money I did, if not more than half. Now here's a funny thing too, and I don't know if this is with the RT, and I don't know what they're doing today, but when I bought this thing, it came with a extra cylinder, locking cylinder for that case. which was nice because the case does not come with a cylinder. And I guess that would be an additional purchase for you guys. Now, thank God I kept mine. Finding it was a different story, but once I found it, I just put this ignition key in it, put it in there, turned it, it locked in place, and we were done. Could not be simpler. And I don't think that cylinder is keyed from the factory. Like, it didn't have a serial number on as far as I know. So maybe when you put your key, it's a blank thing or a self-keying thing. Don't quote me on that. I was talking to my buddy, okay, that I usually ride with from my club. Now, he just bought a Harley, and it did not have the case. And then he went back to go buy the case, I think because he bought like a previous model year, saved some money. And he wanted to buy the case. And the OEM case for this Harley Street Glide, Road Glide, whatever the hell it was slightly less money than Can Am was charging me for this. And I'm speaking to him, and I'm like, well, did your case have speakers? No. Does the Harley case have a light? No. Does the Harley case tell the dashboard that you left it open? Like, I'll show you this later. One of the best things about the Can Ams is if you leave a saddlebag open, if you leave the top case open, you get a notification. Because if you go to group rides with Harley people, you know, God bless them, some of them don't close their cases. Like, you have to pull up next to them. It's like, dude, your case is closed. You're open. Your case is open. Hey, you back in the front. Your case is open. You know, because there's always that pre-ride chaos. You know, wherever people are swapping out clothing, it's too hot, whatever. You know the deal. So, right off the bat, with this one, and the speakers. I'm like, you got speakers? I go, no, I got no speakers. So I just got every single thing you could probably want in a top case for about the same amount of money as a bone stock Harley case. And what did he do? He got some fakakta, you know, Amazon thingy that looks okay, but it's flimsy as F. You know, it rattles, it does this. You had to get a bracket. The nice thing about having a Harley is the aftermarket is huge. You know, so I think whatever mod you want, whatever part you want, if you don't want to pay Harley premiums, you could get it, you know, aftermarket. Can Am's, that world, to most part, does not exist. And I didn't feel like I got screwed, to be honest with you. It was a lot of money, but over the next couple of years, I take trips now. I don't have to, it's one less thing I have to go get from the attic, attach, detach. Now, that also being said, the one thing that I now have to get used to is I could swing a leg over the F3T. Okay? Now I have to find a way of mounting this bike because I got that case there. I'm going to have to step through or use the floorboards and do a up and over. I think I covered everything about why I got it, you know, the struggles, the money, the reasons, the backstory. Yeah, I think I covered all that. So right now, like I said, I'm gonna go back, park it in the shade, and then I'll show you the parts and stuff and the case itself. We'll do a little walkthrough. So now we're at the back of the bike, okay? And this is how this is gonna work. There'll be cars driving past me all the time, so I'll have to deal with that. So if you have the F3T, you will have this cover, okay? There's a little pop rivet right there, Little pop rivet right there. Obviously, you should, if you own a Spyder or a Ryker, you will need this little plastic pry tool. I mean, there's different ones, but this will do it, to pop these out. Okay, so easy enough, right? So you pop those two out, and this will just lift off. Okay, and like I said, there's these clips, so you're just going to have to pull up on this edge and pop those out, and this will come right off. That was easy. So, well, let's start from the beginning. The first thing you'll have to do is just take off your back seat. So ignition key to there, push down on this corner when you turn the key. It should take a lot of resistance out of getting this up if it's a little stiff. And just disconnect it, put it to the side, whatever you got to do. It's sitting here, okay? Now, here's what you have to install on this bike, okay? It's this plate. Like I said, when you go to the parts people, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. These 4 and these 4 are different. These 2 studs. Underneath here are spring clips. Okay, so, and then this bracket here is separate. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 separate parts. Okay, this mounts underneath the plate. Oh, and there's 2 clips here too. Sorry about that. Okay, relatively simple. Just assemble this bracket right here. Okay, put it from underneath, put the 4 screws in, put the clips in the holes, screw these down. Now these are all Loctited. Okay, actually the screws come with Loctite as well. Install these 2 studs, and that's it. So, because everyone likes to know what we're doing here. Oh boy. All right. So these right here are T20s. Boom. It's the last time you'll need this. Boom, 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 boom. I put extra Loctite, but this is a T20 Torx. All right, easy enough. Okay. Now, these big boys right here, there's 4 of those. That's a T30 Torx. Okay, boom. Like I said, they're nice and tight. Not a worry. Not a worry. Now, these studs are Allen keys, and they're 4mm. Boom, crank them down. Okay. So what you'll see when you first take this cowling off, this is a plug clip. This is the plug clip, which I found weird because it has these little green plugs in it, and that will be located here. This is your main wiring harness. This is the harness that comes with your bugs, that comes with your case. So take this off and snap that on. Okay, easy. Okay, this will be clipped, or this wire will be clipped here, so you'll have to cut the wire tie, but it has its own channel. Don't worry about that. Okay, this comes, like this whole case here comes fully assembled. So plug in your power. Okay, oh sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm sorry. You will have to disconnect it. This antenna on a T sits here. This was my aftermarket stubby. It's set right here. This won't close with this, okay? If you have an RT, your thing sits back here, your antenna. If you have, if you actually have a limited, this antenna is like mounted there, okay? So, and the funny thing is, when I bought this bike, this wasn't even mounted or connected, this wire, which is nuts, but it is what it is, okay? And I do have, I did order one of these little covers, and that's coming, so I have something to put there. So that's on its way. Okay. So I get a little ahead of myself. Your armrest right here, this clips in. I'll show it to you from the other side once I put it down. But lay it in, and then I don't know if I could do this one-handed, so you might have to take my word for it, okay? But it's gonna, this clip, it's not a clip, it's like a horseshoe, will slide onto those bosses right there, okay? And then it will slide down. You don't have to come in on this ridiculous angle either. Okay, you just heard that? That was the pins locking in, okay? If you come down here, it's not in right. I have to move it back and forth a little bit, but that's actually, this is actually the release. And that's the lock, okay? Boom. So, it's in. It's in. Okay? So now you take your tool, you put it there, and then you'll see that that's green. I hope you see that's green. And then that's red. Unlocked, locked. Okay? Then take your little toolie thing, and it clips right in there. Okay? Now, this is now attached to your bike, right? Real simple. I'll take you around the other side and I'll show you where it like slid in. Okay? Maybe you can see that. You see it's open right here, so it clips right in there. Your wire is right here, so you know, you can just grab that and attach it. Okay, there's your wire. Good to go? Good to go. And now the other thing, I don't think I need this anymore. So now the other thing is put the seat back. Okay, so that's a two-handed operation, so I'm going to pause this for a minute while I just reattach this, put it in there. All right, so now you see that the back is installed. I guess now is a good enough time to talk about what you get for your money. Okay, let's start right here. You have the built-in backrest. Okay, there's feature number one. It's already attached. It's back here. So there's feature number one. All right, feature number two. There we go. You got the light and you got your USBs. If you're wondering what this, the USB was down here earlier. This is a newer model, or the RT model, so they moved it up here. Okay. It also comes with this rubber liner. Okay. And I've also seen aftermarket things like you take this and this screw out, and there's like a pouch that hangs here for like your little accessories. You know, this is a solid top. So if you buy the aftermarket or even the BRP, they have like the things that mount to the top. There's little tick marks. I'm assuming these are tick marks right here and here, here and here. You're gonna have to drill through this. I am not going to put a mount up here on top of this because that's just overkill for me. So I'm not gonna do that. All right, so the next thing is that right there, and this pin, that's the signal to go to your instrument panel to let you know that this is unlocked. Okay, now I have the power on. Now I have the power on, so now you can see you have a light, and I tried this last night. Maybe I'll throw the footage in, and this is also lit. So you got your stuff right there. I did have to use another piece of double-sided tape to attach this. For some reason, the factory attached the shipping bag to the sticky thing, but no big deal. Double-sided tape, or you could just leave it lying around. Your choice. All right. My radio went on, so now we're back over here. But if you look, see what it says? rear cargo open, right? I'll just save my battery. So right off the bat, it's open. It tells you it's open. So if someone pops this open or pops open on its own, you have some sort of warning. Oh, you also get a brake light and a driving light. So this actually works. It's not a reflector. This actually lights up, and it's also your brake light. Now, the older models, this piece of plastic right here was color matched to your bike. I don't think you could get them anymore, but what are you going to do? Me personally, I think I'm going to take this off and I'm going to wrap this. You know, if it comes out good, it comes out good. If it comes out like shit, it comes out like shit. What are you going to do? But I'm going to try to wrap this just to break it up a little bit. We'll see what happens. I don't have my helmet out here, but you can fit like 2 helmets side by side. I don't think it's vertically. I think you have to put them like dome this way, dome that way. But it's about 1 foot deep, 1.5 foot deep here, about 1 foot deep here, about 2.5 feet wide. Got a little domage, and like I said, I did buy the bag that goes here, and I did get the organizer too because I'm silly, and that's that. Okay, I'm gonna close this up now. Always give these things a tug just to make sure they're shut. Lock it up, like it is. There we go. That's the enhanced view. Well, I know it's the middle of the day, but now there you go, all lit up. And obviously, it lights up with the things. I've already tested that, so we're good. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, notifications, yada, yada, yada. And ride safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.